I'm here in Century City waiting for some of my colleagues. We're going to see a screening of Alita Battle Angel. Going back to my time at General Assembly learning user experience back in 2015, really anchoring and pulling together all of my skill sets that I've done prior. Support groups, my cohort was pivotal in the encouragement and acceleration of my education and my confidence. Having the confidence to talk to others about what you do, why you care about it, and not being trapped at any given point, because it's easy to feel trapped. You can be in a corner and not know who to turn to. So ultimately, this is going to be the next episode, and it's surrounding support groups. So I'm going to start with a quote by Andrew Collins, a psychologist. When people think about procrastination, it really isn't about laziness. It's about avoiding very strong emotions like anxiety, pain, fear, shame, disappointment. If someone feels like no one can handle their frustration, then the most convenient receptacle is themselves, and that leads to more depression and anxiety and unproductivity. Now, when I bring this up, it's not because I'm talking about procrastination. The important topic about how that relates to this subject of support groups and community is the understanding that a number of people feel like they're a one-person show, they're a one-person army. And that's going to tear you down at some point, because one of the biggest enemies that come from a solo ship or a one-person show is the fact that you're going to be affected by imposter syndrome one way or another. So you need some form of intimate contact with someone else. One of the biggest struggles that I've learned from a number of students and colleagues and professionals, whether it's lower or upper management, is that they find it necessary to have some sort of support system, whether it's a best friend or it's a mentor, which is why it's a really big thing to have a mentor, but not everyone has that luxury. But also going to meetups, finding people that are alongside that journey or have more experience in the journey. Those act as support groups. And I've had friends, or I have friends right now, who don't have as strong of a support group, and at some point their resolve starts to tear down. They get these additional thoughts in their head about how they could feel abandoned, or they're not worth their salt in what they do, or they start to question how effective are they in the field. And in user experience, we can sometimes act as a self-medicating therapist in the wrong way. So we need additional voices to take us out of ourselves and find people that can easily either just tell you what they're doing in their day, or how you're appreciated, or how some form of positive effect. Because if you don't have that, if you're too much into yourself, and if you're too lost, or if you feel lost, you'll deprive other people of knowing your personal narrative that other people may find a benefit of, just as much as you'd get a benefit out of learning their narrative and sharing this kind of relationship that you can both grow from. And also this is something that you should be able to easily find if you're a part of the academic circle, if you're going through user experience in academia, or if you're doing a boot camp, you could find colleagues that way. Don't take those lightly. Try hard on growing those relationships after your programs, because they may end up at Google, or they may end up at a really good startup, or they may end up in a really bad situation. You can learn from both positive and negative, and you can share those with other people, and you'll all grow. Because the more you help each other out, the more you'll find positions and opportunities where you may have not thought of before. And that can even go for people that are not a part of the industry. You could just meet someone at a grocery store or a library or online. You know, you could be a part of a group like the Designers Guild on Facebook, and it's not so much that you're trying to get affirmation from some professional out there, but try as much as possible to make friends, because you'll never know when those people that you've connected with become one of your biggest supporters. So take those risks. I know that some people may be uncomfortable with making more and more friends because it could drain them, but it's worth the risk. Um, and if you don't have that luxury necessarily, if you feel like, or if you're in a circumstance where it's not easy for you to associate with others or organize, um, or engage something, try organizing a coffee tea meetup with people. You could organize design sprints, exercises, or just meet up to talk a shop about life, employment struggles, building your own startup, whichever. It's not that bad to compare yourself to others, but it's more so to understand, to calibrate, to understand where you're at and how far you've progressed and how much you do and do not know. And it becomes a growth perspective, just like in my last episode. It's something for you to strive towards. But ultimately, these are my gatherings and experiences. I'd like to hear your feedback on support groups in the comments below. Join me next time for more explorations in systems and culture. For Hourglass, I'm JB.